whatever. But by the time like July comes around, everybody's gonna be more serious about doing everything.
For sure. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Personal Trainer Network. I have two wonderful people here. I got Eunice at the bottom and Crystal to my left. I truly appreciate you guys being a part of this. They are back for more definitely fan favorites on the channel. So if you guys have anything you want to talk about before we get started into the topic, please let them know. If you have any new programs or anything, now's the time to plug it.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Crystal. I'm an online trainer, and I will be launching a summer program coming up in the middle of June. So be on the lookout for that.
Okay. And I am currently in the midst of a promotional for a 30% discount on my one-on-one coaching program that is heavily focusing on nutrition and how that impacts your weight loss journey.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys make sure you go follow them. They're always posting like incredible things. Sometimes I'll just go on my Instagram and I'll see Crystal and she's just out in Hawaii, but then she's also working out. And I'm like, oh geez. And then I see Eunice. Eunice is like a CrossFit gym. I'm like, damn, like, I just try to be working hard, and I'm like, I'm not even matching their grind. These girls are killing it. So it's really cool. Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about fitness and fitness for women. So we're going to be mostly focusing on the female perspective, and I want you guys to talk all about different things when it comes to workout and fitness with women. So obviously we're going to get the first big question out of the way. How do I lift weights without looking bulky? I know this is a huge misconception. So whoever wants to start, feel free.
Go ahead, Eunice. Go start it.
Weights. If you are overeating, you will get bulky. If you are like eating at like a maximum surplus. And the reason why I mention that is because when I was younger, I was like in high school, I tried lifting weights because I was like, I really want, to be strong and lean. And I was like eating literally with the worst diet. And I got very big and bulky, but that's like an extreme case. Weights do not make you bulky. They help you burn fat. They slim you out. Stop.
Legit. And like when you think about it too, it's like, you see people that are doing bodybuilding competitions and all that good stuff. They're eating a lot and they've been doing that for like at least a year plus. Like if you're just starting working out, you're not going to look like that. Trust me. You just have to get that idea out of your head. And it's so funny that people also think that, I'm going to eat a lot of protein. If I eat too much protein, I'm going to get bulky. No, it doesn't work like that. Protein synthesis does not work like that at all.
Our body loves protein. And it's funny because I actually just shifted my coaching to focus on like having like a high protein diet at first. And it's not even like high protein because it's like, this is the way you should eat forever. But macronutrients are so complex that it's important that you focus on one macronutrient at a time. And if you're trying to lose weight, lifting moderately as well as focusing on protein is your best entry to successful long-term weight loss.
That is exactly what I tell my clients. I'm like, honestly, you guys, not you guys, but everybody has a high carb, high fat diet already.
Yeah.
It's always low in protein. So I'm like, okay, so now when you think about eating, just prioritize protein in every single meal, even your snacks. You have to, because you are going to, when you start tracking, see that the only thing you're eating is carbs and fats, which is good because you still need that, but in moderation and making sure you're still having a high protein intake to help feed your muscles.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is, people think protein is just meat when there's a lot of different foods that provide protein. So that's the biggest thing,
I'm vegan and I eat a lot of protein. There's foods that have protein, and it's like, even if a food is not like a high protein foods, it's like moderately protein, just take high amounts of it. Like just increase your dosage of it, and that can substantiate your protein intake.
Yeah, and then just adding more like different types of whatever kind of protein there is to, like beans, add some lentils, add what else, like tofu or whatever, like add stuff that's not just like high in carbs but have a little bit of protein, so you can add everything up together, and it'll make a higher protein meal, right?
Yeah, for sure. I guess the next question would be, do I need to take supplements to get in great shape? This is from
No,
no.
I don't think you need to, but the supplement I always just tell my clients to get is just protein powder, because honestly, sometimes it is hard to eat a lot of protein. Okay.
Yeah.
I get full off eating, especially like if you're eating a lot of beans, which is high in fiber too. It makes you really full. So the easiest way to finish the rest of your day off, have a protein shake. And if you still have a little bit extra, double scoop it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's supposed to help you reach your goal, but it's not supposed to replace everything you're supposed to be eating.
For sure. Eunice?
I'm gonna be transparent. I'm not like equipped to talk about like supplements. Like I think every time people ask me about supplements, I'm just like, that's like, I feel like supplements are like a next level thing. Whereas a lot of people are on this like first level of like the basics. Of like, okay, get your food in, be consistent with moving your body, drink your water, sleep accurately. And then once you have those habits established, then we can figure out what your deficiency is in, and then we can get you supplements. But I think that but even protein powder, I think is phenomenal. I think that people try to put so many supplements in without trying to get those actual nutrients and vitamins from their food as a primary source.
Like when people get like the super greens, like the drink thing, like the powder, I'm like, bro, you have to eat your veggies at least, I feel like the easiest way is to make like a smoothie. Throw some berries in there for antioxidant, and then throw some spinach in there, because you're not even gonna taste it. That's an easy way to get at least one serving in. Super easy.
And the thing is supplements are really and truly for like deficiency, like you said, like replacement of things that you're not getting. People who are low in iron, right, usually take supplements to help them with that. But other than that, like taking them for the sake of weight loss, I wouldn't necessarily recommend, unless like that's proven by your doctor. Your doctor should be really the only person, so.
No, 100%.
And it's like, okay, so if you start to establish those habits and then you realize that like you're not sleeping well, or you're drinking a lot of water, but you're still thirsty, or like you're eating all these vegetables, but you're still feeling weak, then we can dissect and like prescribe you to a dietitian, or like tell you different things to take. But like, I completely agree with you guys. Just set your foundation and then talk about supplements.
Yeah, exactly. No, once so I have my clients just track for like the first week, right? Track just to see where you're at, and then we'll see where we need to improve on the next week. And then from there, I already can see most, like I said earlier, everybody's lacking in protein. I'm like, the easiest way, go get some protein powder. That's it. Easy way. And then another way is like getting protein snacks, high protein snacks. Get some Greek yogurt. 8 ounces of Greek yogurt has about 20 grams of protein already. That's such an easy way. Like you don't have to stuff yourself with so many things if you don't need to. Supplements are supposed to help you reach whatever goal you're getting to, like food-wise, nutritional-wise, but they're not it's not a magic pill to help you lose weight.
Oh man, I had someone once ask me, what supplements can I take to relieve bloating? What would you say, Crystal?
I say, honestly, I get bloated really easily. So I look into like the FODMAP diet. Have you seen that? Where you just kind of eliminate certain things for a little bit and then introduce them back into your diet. But usually I just tell them to drink more water, walk, and then get more spinach and leafy greens in, because it really depends on what you're eating. Like, are you having really salty foods? Are you drinking enough water? Are you even moving enough?
A lot of the times bloating is a lot of sodium. It's just a high amount of sodium after you work out, then you eat, and you end up just having a lot of sodium in your diet with back in again. So that becomes a problem a lot of the times too.
Yeah. Plus, like my clients always talk about bloating, especially like during their cycle, and I'm like, girl, it's natural. Your body, that's how it normally is. So you just have to let it come. Like it's not going to be like, oh, what can help me stop bloating, but what can I do to help reduce it? What foods do I need to eat less of? type of thing.
And then also sometimes just letting it pass through your system, because bloating can mean a plethora of things. It can also, it could be that you're stressed. It could be that you drink a ton of water. It could be that you mix two foods together that are both healthy but shouldn't be mixed together. And it's okay to just kind of let that phase pass unless it feels chronic, unless it feels like you're like in danger.
Yeah, and then if it's something that's happening like reoccurring so often, I suggest them to eat more probiotic stuff for more like healthier gut health, because that could be another problem too. Yeah. I just tried kombucha in Maui, like fresh kombucha. Oh my gosh, it was so good, guys.
So good.
It is really good. It is, yeah. So the next question comes from my girlfriend. I guess this is from her sister. She wants to know how can she incorporate certain foods back into her diet after reaching her goal weight, trying to maintain the weight that she's at.
Like what kind of foods?
I don't know. It doesn't say specific. It's just like, how can I incorporate certain foods back into my diet? I guess it's like things that are not necessarily great for you, but.
Oh, like if she was giving up like chips and stuff.
Yeah.
I would just, you can go first. You know.
No, go ahead. I was like processing.
Yeah, no, me too. Well, you could just introduce it back in moderation, you know, like instead of, don't have a whole bag of chips at once. I know like when my friends are doing like their prep shows and then they finally are able to eat like after it's done and they have like 2 In-N-Out burgers, they just end up feeling really sick. So just really slowly incorporating it back in, just having a little bit each and every time. Yeah. But making sure you're just having it in moderation if you're still wanting to maintain where you're at.
Yeah. I think like the way I would address it would be like, well, first of all, how did you get to your goal weight? Because I think that addressing how you got to your goal weight, but you feel like you're still in a deprivation of your favorite food, that's the part that we should address before we talk about reintroducing your foods. Because like same thing like Crystal just said, like she has a friend who's competing. If you're competing or if you're like an extreme athlete, you do have to take foods out in order to be able to compete to your maximum ability. But if you're taking foods out, like doing keto or doing like
lifestyle trading.
Right, very short-term diets to get to your goal. And to be honest with you, you're not really at your goal yet. Like that's the hard truth. Yeah. Is that unless you are able to live at a balance where you're able to eat your foods and see your results, you're not at your results.
Exactly. And it's okay. It's okay. You know, we're all figuring it all out. Like I can tell you myself, I still figure things out. Sometimes I think I'm good, and then other times it's like I may relapse or I may mess up, you know, and it takes time. Like there are days where I'll be drinking water, and then there are other days where I'll forget. And then I'll go on Instagram and I'll see Eunice like, drink your water. I'm like, gee, okay, my bad, I forgot. And I'll drink the water, right? So it's okay to mess up. You just gotta know what you're like, know how you messed up and make sure you change that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, me too. I had a client where she was just like not eating pasta at all, even though she likes pasta. And I'm like, you don't have to give it up. You just have to make sure you're eating it in a like moderation. Maybe just getting a different type of pasta, you know, like maybe getting a chickpea pasta because it's higher in protein. So then you get a little bit of everything more and you can still eat it.
Yeah.
So finding just different alternatives instead of just giving up food all the way.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. That's what I try to do with my clients. Like, okay, you want to have chips, you can eat your chips, but how do you need to adjust your day to accommodate to eating like that? That's it.
Yep, that's very true. Very true. And the final question, I got this question probably like 15, maybe 20 times. The question that women seem to always want to know. So they want to know what exercises are good to tone their booties. They want to grow. They want to get a booty. They want to have that built. So they want to know from y'all's perspective some stuff.
When in doubt, thrust it out.
Thrusts are amazing. My favorite is deadlifts.
Me too. I love deadlifts.
And The thing, another exercise, I actually had a training session, a live training session yesterday. Another exercise that is completely underrated and not done correctly are squats. People
Yeah.
are saying like
Mhm.
squats don't get you the butt, like you need to do this one, this one. I'm like, if you knew the beauty and the art of doing an actual squat, you can tone your whole body.
Mhm.
Because it's like a full body workout, but it really helps with glutes. So thrusts, deadlifts, squats.
Yep.
Yeah.
Split squats, especially the forward leaning split squats,
Mhm.
Mhm.
or doing also like a high step up. High step ups are really good, but you have to also make sure that you're really like thinking, like having a good mind muscle connection with your glutes. Because if you're just moving to move, you're not really doing anything for yourself
Mhm.
at all.
It's so dope that you just said that, Crystal, because today when I went to CrossFit,
Yeah.
and because we did heavy ass deadlifts yesterday, and so
Yeah.
you know my glutes are still activated.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So today we were doing like burpees. Today was the first day I realized that I actually use my glutes for burpees. And
Yep.
it was just that like that cognition of like, oh shoot, my glutes are pushing me up.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Well,
definitely.
Right.
that's the thing when you know when you talk about mind muscle body connection, you talk about like the whole idea of being aware of what muscle is working at certain times. I always refer it back to this. So whenever I talk to my clients about working on certain muscle groups, right? Like for instance, the hamstring, I always say, think about when you're going upstairs. When you're going upstairs, it's not your quads that are working. It's really the hamstrings. The quads are resisting because if you
Mhm.
actually think about the mechanical action of going upstairs, it's hamstrings that are helping you pull, and get your knee up and everything. So I'm like, stairs actually are really good for hamstring, glute, things like that. So step ups, like you said, for instance, even stair climbers great for that as well too,
Mm-hmm.
because working that hamstring is very important for it as well too, because
Mhm.
you have a solid base with your glute, because the glutes max is so important. It's such a big muscle. It's so significant when it comes to explosive movements, like burpees, like you said, for instance. So yeah, you're definitely right with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it's also like making sure your foot placement is good too, and how you're pressing through like your foot makes a
Mhm.
big difference. Like if you're pushing through your heels more, especially if you're like going up the stairs, you're gonna feel it more posterior, right?
Mhm.
Like if you're going, obviously when people are like running downhill, you're gonna feel it more on the front of your toes. Therefore,
Mhm.
you're gonna feel it more anteriorly.
Mhm.
So it's all
Mhm.
about just like how you're moving.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, you guys are totally right.
Absolutely.
You got anything else you want to add, Eunice, when it comes to the whole booty exercises and everything?
Eat your protein. You ain't get a
Yeah.
6 booty unless you eat your protein.
And actually eating food. If you feel like if you're on a, I mean, you could still grow a booty on a deficit, but you have to make sure you're eating. That is
Hmm.
the biggest thing. You want to grow, you need to eat. Stop thinking you need
Hmm.
to starve yourself to grow. No, you don't.
Hmm.
The more you're moving, the
Yeah.
more you're going to actually have to eat.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also want to tell them like embrace the idea that your journey is gonna go through phases. Like
Hmm.
right now may not be the phase of you growing your booty. Right now might be the phase of you getting your habits together. It might be you like constantly eating at like this caloric, like this consistent caloric deficit so that you're
Yep.
burning fat. And then we can talk about growing your booty. But if you're
Hmm.
trying to lose weight and then you're trying to grow a booty at the same time, like that can it can cloud your journey overall.
Yeah, for
Most
sure. For
definitely.
sure. Yeah. Okay, so I don't got any more questions, but if you guys have any other topics you want to discuss, any information you want to give the women out there, just a little help for people who may not know some stuff, because obviously you guys are very well versed when it comes to this. I'm always like, I'm listening, I'm trying to like pretend to write down notes because I'm trying to pay attention and make sure that I'm paying attention to everything you guys say. It's so important. So,
Mhm.
I would want to say don't be scared to step in the weight room. I know gym intimidation is real, but
hmm.
ask for help when you need it. And if
Hmm.
you need to invest in a coach or a guide to really help you, because it's only going to cut like all that guesswork out for you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Definitely with the guesswork, like I always tell people it took me 10 years to be where I am currently. And I feel like if
Mhm.
I had a coach with me every step of the way, I would have gotten there way sooner. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
way sooner.
just don't be okay to outsource for support.
Yeah.
And then also don't underestimate the power of resting. So you
Mhm.
want to build your body, but your body will not be built to the way you want it to unless you allow it to repair. So get
Yeah.
your rest in. That will play a major role in your development.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And don't stop doing just legs, guys. It's not gonna help. That is the
Yes,
biggest
you're
thing.
talking to me. She's talking to
Oh
me,
my
That's
y'all.
so
goodness.
true.
No,
That's
it's
so
because
true.
I talk to so many people and they're like, yeah, I just do legs and I do my arms. And I'm like, girl,
You have a whole
what
body.
is the what is that gonna do? Your arms are so small. Like if you work your legs, your chest, and your back, that's better than
Mhm.
just working your arms.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
want to work the bigger muscles and then start to incorporate your small muscles after because you
Mhm.
want to make sure they're good before you just move into accessory movements. That doesn't make sense to me, like
Exactly.
at
Oh.
all.
Oh my
Like doing
gosh.
like very focused workouts, it doesn't tell you
Yeah,
how your body works as a whole. Like your
Yep.
baby
yeah.
doesn't
Mhm.
tell you that.
Literally,
It's
like if you're working your back, you're working your biceps and a little bit of your shoulders, depending on what you're doing. Same
because
with your chest. You know, you're
all the muscles are connected. That's the thing. That's the thing people don't
yes,
realize is they're all
yeah.
connected.
You got to make sure you're moving the primary mover versus the secondary movers.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Because
Uh,
I like to just end with accessory movements after my compound movements because I'm already
mhm.
tired.
Right,
Yep.
My
right.
muscles are dead. I'm just trying to kill it a little bit more before I leave the gym.
Hmm. Yeah, like it's funny. We talk about this because I was talking to Nigel yesterday with the male perspective on it, and he was like, guys need to stop only working their upper body and they need to work their lower body, which is like the polar opposite of what you said. It's like guys are so focused on having like a crazy built upper body and they have no legs. They have no
Chicken
legs.
legs.
They have no calf muscles. No nothing. It's ridiculous. And that's so true that you said that because it's the exact opposite. I talked to some girls I know they only do lower body and then they do
And
abs. That's it.
yeah, I hear lower body, abs, and arms and cardio. And I'm like, girl, where? You want to get like an hourglass figure. You're not doing it. Trust me.
Yeah. But also it's like what lower body exercise did you do? Because actually, like most of the lower body exercises does incorporate your upper body if done
Hmm.
correctly. So
Hmm.
what
Yeah.
are you doing?
Yeah, no, seriously. Like when people tell me what they do at the gym, I'm like, girl, no. We gotta rearrange your workout just a little bit, add some more exercises, get rid of some, you hear people do like 10 things at the gym, and I'm like, what are you competing for? Because you don't need that. The
Yeah.
best
Exactly.
way to work out is having, your warm up and then having a good 4 to 6 exercises that you're gonna do very well and then
Yeah.
call it a day. Maybe you want to add
Hmm.
some abs at the end, two exercises, cool. But you only need a staple 4 to 6 exercises to get
You
through your
don't.
workout.
Yeah. You don't need
Yes,
something.
Crystal.
You don't need
Yeah.
something crazy. Like I tell people all the time, a good workout isn't good workout because it's 2 hours. If you do a
Yeah.
2 hour workout, it could be a good 2 hours because you do a whole bunch of important things to help you. But you can work out for 30 minutes and do just as much as you do in 2 hours. So that's the crazy thing.
Literally.
That's the thing.
Literally. People, yeah. It's just people don't understand it. It's okay. But the best workout is literally going to be 4 to 6 exercises unless you
Hmm.
are competing for something. If you're
Yeah.
competing for something, you're going to be doing a lot more. But
Hmm.
for a life, like if you're just doing like a weight loss journey or you trying to get more tone, you don't need to be in the gym for 2 hours at all.
Right.
Hmm.
You'll be in the gym for 45 to an hour, maybe, if you're doing a warm up and a cool down.
Yep.
And
And a lot of
depending on how
people,
many warm up sets you're doing too.
yep. A lot of people don't even warm up properly anyway. That's a completely different story for a different day. But yeah. Oh,
They warm
I
up on
could
the
do a
treadmill and then call it a day.
I could do a whole video on warm ups and why people like. I just see people warming up. They're like, oh, "Okay, I'm gonna stretch. I'm gonna stretch. All right, into my workout." I'm like, "What?"
The key of a warm up is to make sure that you're activating the muscles that you're going to use
Mm-hmm.
for your workout
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
so you don't go in cold.
Yeah.
Need that movement rehearsal, right? That's very important for it. And then that
Mm-hmm.
intensity build thing up too, right? To get your body warmed up, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For sure.
most definitely.
But I mean, ultimately, like me and Crystal are here to speak to you guys, and like we say what we say, but like at the end of the day, like the reason why we do what we do is because we love women and we love
Yes.
being like that guidance for women, because we've gone through our own journeys and we've known like the lies we've been told. And so it's like this is just like pure like guidance, support, sisterhood, and just mentorship.
Most definitely.
Listen to these ladies, everybody. Go follow them. Stop asking me questions. Ask them questions. I don't want to know. Ask them questions. My goodness. They be spitting facts that I be saying, and y'all don't want to listen to me. So listen to them. My goodness. Like what you just said right now is so important. And it took like what, 10 seconds? Like, oh my goodness. So I want to thank you guys for being a part of this video. Make sure you guys go follow them. If you want, go join their programs. They will help you tremendously. Follow their journey, follow what they're doing. I would love to have them back on the channel again. Make sure you guys leave a like on the video, you comment, and you subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much. Thank you again, ladies, for being a part of this. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Bye, guys.